Over the next few days, we're going to be overlanding all the way from Andorra back to the UK in these classic Fiat Panda 4x4s, which are fitted with tiny Davanti Terratoura A tyres. And even before this trip has started, we've ran into a few difficulties. This green Panda right here had a rusted fuel tank which was leaking fuel and may or may not have set on fire. But we've done some repairs and hopefully it survives this difficult journey ahead. And another interesting thing is that these Davanti Terratoura A tyres are in a tiny size, which is really unique for all-terrain tyres. So myself and the team here are very excited to see how both the Fiat Panda 4x4s and the tiny Davanti Terratoura ATs perform over this upcoming adventure. So we're now on the off-road route. As you can see, this is actually a smuggler's route from Andorra into Spain. So Ray, how are the tyres feeling so far on the Panda?
So far, you know, we're loving it. The ride comfort's really good actually for little tiny tyres. We've got, you know, it's dealing well with these rocks.
Yes.
And the grip's good. We've obviously engaged four-wheel drive mode. We have a light, so we think it works.
Nice.
And yeah, we're just enjoying the scenery.
It's good fun, isn't it?
It is good fun. Nice, nice few horses, bit of wildlife. It is a bit dusty. We've done the trade-off
Very dusty.
Of being hot and not dusty instead of being a bit less hot.
And shut the windows.
And and we have the windows closed. But yeah, it's good fun. We can see piers in front as well.
Yeah.
So they don't seem to be struggling too much either. They've gone for the let's be dusty and not quite as hot option.
We then continued through the Andorran mountains, making sure to check on the Panda with the leaky fuel tank whenever we could. We also had some fun almost tipping over one of the Pandas. Thoughts on that, Piers?
Oh, good. Bloody terrifying. Thought I was going to go down the ravine.
Right, should we crack on?
And crack on we did, until our first mechanical problem of the trip happened. A faulty fan switch. Is that fixed, John?
Fixed.
Fixed again.
And then, with a quick check of directions, it was time to head to the hotel for the night. And this hotel was quite literally in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so now it is day 2, everyone. What a day it was yesterday. The views here are absolutely spectacular, and yeah, the cars performed amazingly as well as the tyres. And yeah, we got back to the hotel at a very, very late time last night. It was pitch black, and it was this hotel in the middle of nowhere. It was a bit crazy, really. But yeah, so Ray, what's the plan ahead today?
Well, sit rep, obviously we've fixed the fan switch that fell off.
Yep.
That caused the overheat problem yesterday. And the new metallic rattle, we're just ignoring that, and we're going to carry on regardless. We're heading to the border of France in Viella, so we've already been through Spain and Andorra, most of the route to the Contrabandistas, and yeah, it's been great fun. We're looking forward to it. The tyres perform really well. These cars are like little mountain goats anyway, but they're really softening off. It's really dusty, a lot more dusty than we thought.
Yeah.
I just can taste the dust. We made the choice to have the windows up finally, but yeah, dust, more dust, but a lot of rocks, and they're really rounding out the rocks nicely, and a lot of traction grip as well. We actually switched down to second two-wheel drive and third gear in some of the off-road sections, so it was really good.
And we're just heading to the off-road a bit now, so let's have some fun.
So yeah, this bit is definitely a four-wheel drive section. As you can see, it's quite bumpy. We have to pick our lines because the ground clearance isn't very high on the little Pandas. We've definitely rearranged a few bits underneath yesterday and knocked some things loose. But you can see, obviously, we've got absolutely no traction aids whatsoever here. We've just got gears and the brakes. And even if I just engage first gear and take my feet off everything, the car creeps along nicely. We've got a lot of grip, it's quite good. The tyres are really nice and progressive and give us all that control that we need. That's just feet off the pedals and using the engine braking and the tyre traction.
So we're on day 3, which is the penultimate day of our trip, and we still have the whole of France to get through before getting onto the ferry back to the UK. So today is really a day to start getting some miles in. We've just filled up with some petrol, and now it's time to go on an 8-hour drive all the way to Nantes in France. Then, as soon as we eventually got to Nantes, it was straight to sleep. Ready for a very early start the next morning, as we had a 4-hour drive all the way to Cherbourg to catch the 9 AM ferry back to the UK. Although, when time was at its most precious, Piers noticed the temperature gauge rising.
Piers, I've got it. I can't do anything about it, but I've got it.
Where is it?
The bottom of the heater matrix. Pipe's separated. There. It's actually broken.
Right. So it's fixable.
It is fixable, yeah.
So it's the early hours of the morning right now. It's been about an hour since Piers and Chris left to try and find a local garage while I stay with our beautiful green Panda, which unfortunately, as you can tell by the previous clips, is broken down. I believe it's an issue where, you know, we're driving a 20-year-old car that hasn't really been driven in a few years. You know, we're driving it off-road for 2 days straight, and it's sort of one of those things that just happens. We are going to miss our ferry, but we're just got to focus on trying to get this thing back on the road, and then we'll work out a plan B, and I'll let you all know when I get some more updates. So Chris and Piers managed to find this garage, which was luckily only about 15 minutes away. The only issue though was that we had to get a car that we couldn't start to the garage, and the only way to do that was to push.
So we went to the garage, and luckily the guy who was there managed to strip some bits off a scrap car. So we've got a new T-piece here. He's used a couple of bits of hoses to pack it out. So we've managed to replace that joint, so all is well.
And with that, we were back on the road for our final stretch towards Cherbourg for our later ferry back to the UK. So we finally made it onto the ferry, completing our journey from Andorra back to the UK, and what an adventure that was. It really did have everything, and it just shows how, no matter the size, Davanti's all-terrain Terratoura tyres are just incredible. Myself and the team are really impressed with how they performed throughout this long journey. And if you want to find out more information about Davanti's tyres, including the Terratoura all-terrain tyre, then make sure you head to their website, davantitires.com, and I'll also link their social media channels in the description down below so you can stay up to date with the next adventure that may feature Davanti's tyres. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Make sure to like the video if you're watching until this point, subscribe to the Davanti Tyres channel, and thank you for watching.